distribution on that leg so you can pick up this leg freely. Swing it, okay, over his like hip, and then you're gonna let go of the wrist and you're gonna grab your thigh. Once you grab your thigh, right, you're gonna look to post. And you don't have to post, I just like to. And then from there, I'm gonna start to move this leg backwards. That makes it super tight, and it's do slide by to back body lock escape. We'll do 2 variations of slide bys. So I'm gonna grab his head. I'm gonna look to make a blade, pull his head into the blade in his throat and start driving into him. As soon as he drives into me, then I'm gonna cut the angle here, look over my shoulder, grab his elbow, have my elbow pointed high to the ceiling and pull it across and hold his neck the whole time. It's a back body lock. Thomas is gonna put his my hands on his hips and use his hips to break the position. Go ahead. And the grip and then turn in, okay? And then the other variation is like the wristwatch. This is a good variation too. So it's more like a smacking his like arm off with like your wrist forearm area. The only thing about this one, it has to be a loose grip. If it's a tight grip, it won't work. So I move him around and then boom, okay? Good. Yeah. Like the other setup I'm trying to do right now is like I'm holding his hand and holding his head. And as soon as I let go of his hand or he breaks the grip, and as soon as he goes to my head, right? Like grab my head. As soon as he grabs my head, I go for it. So I'm trying to work on that timing. But we have a nice angle for the Kimura here. Just you still want your posture like low and you still want your back leaning into his head so he can't pick you up easily. But like say I can't break the grip, then I'm gonna grab the wrist, go around the elbow and grab my own wrist. I still wanna use my hip to break the grip as I start to pull the Kimura. Once I break the grip, then I wanna turn into him and like I wanna rotate the back of his hand to his head. Now I am anticipating the roll here. If he doesn't roll, that's great, but he probably will, right? And I wanna make sure I follow him with that roll and like change my level. If you don't, then hold this, break your grip and get out of it as he rolls. So from there, I crank the head towards the back of the head. He starts to roll. I follow him down. And then once you follow him down, you're gonna step over here for the Kimura. And we're gonna look to like staple his bicep. So if you can turn this way, there you go. So from here, I'm gonna look to, as I step over his head, I'm gonna look to aim for his bicep and staple it. Once that happens, it's going to be a better way to kind of break his grip here. He can't really stop me pulling his arm because his other arm will be stapled. So I pull his arm up, and then you connect your hands. I'm going to do it slow. Pull it over for the finish. When I go for the finish here, I don't like it to do it like this. That's just me personally. I like to have the hand towards the back a little bit more and rotate both my hands like I'm on a motorcycle. And then keep his elbow tied to my chest and look direction I'm rotating his arm. Okay. So we'll just do the whole thing. Go for the slide by. Okay, breaks out. This time, I'll let Thomas go. Yeah, you can go for the Kimura. As he goes for the Kimura, I want to teach this as well. So when I'm gonna roll, you can roll a lot of different ways. Some people do like a somersault, some people look away, some people look towards. A safe way to do this is change your level, and as he's cranking it, I look at my opponent's legs and I can roll, okay? Steps over, staple, go for the Kimura. Tap. All right, guys. So we're in a Kimura position here. He's connecting his hands and we can't break the grip. And so what we're gonna do is swing this leg over, the one that's in front of his face, and we're gonna set up our tarikoplata. This one is a good option if you're fighting someone bigger and you end up in this position. Because like sometimes a bigger, strong guy, you can't break the grip. So we're gonna swing this leg over. The key is like lean into your leg behind his back so you have all the weight distribution on that leg so you can pick up this leg freely. Swing it, okay, over his like hip. And then you're gonna let go of the wrist and you're gonna grab your thigh. Once you grab your thigh, right, you're gonna look to post. And you don't have to post, I just like to. And then from there, I'm gonna start to move this leg backwards. That makes it super tight. And sometimes that alone can get the tap. There you go. If not, then I will keep rotating that direction. Sometimes you'll get the hand out and free. When that happens, we're gonna go with a head post. And as we go for a head post, we're gonna re-grab the Kimura grip. And then we're gonna look to fall towards that left hip. And now we end up in our ultra Kimura position. And it's just another variation of Kimura, keeping the leg over the head, keeping the leg over the lower back. It almost feels like a Peruvian necktie in that aspect. And this is a really good position to prevent the roll, try to roll. See, like I'm chopping down his like lower back and butt, okay? It makes it really hard for him to roll. And now to finish this, I'm gonna like crank it towards the back of his head. Same details there, motorcycle, okay? Keep the elbow tight to your core and crank it towards his head, okay? Now, if he happens to roll, this is when we have to kind of talk about other options. It could be a little bit improvised based off how he lands. And I can't tell you, 100% certainty how he's going to land every single time. But I'll give you a couple options just based off how he lands. So he's going to roll. And now right here, you okay? He landed on my leg, which is very common in this position. So if this leg's here, I can sneak it to his armpit and my other leg's behind his back. I can pull him up a little bit, extend my leg deeper, and we can do the crucifix triangle. So I'm gonna lock it up on the bottom here, leg curl, knee pinch, pull the elbow towards me for the tap, okay? You can also potentially chase wrist locks on this arm. And like sometimes if this arm is really far away and you can't grab it, that's what I'll do. I'll just start chasing wrist locks here, and he doesn't like that, so he'll use his other arm, and then from there I can grab it and make it re-tight. From there, I can also look to, if I miss like the head, if I miss the armpit, okay, I can always go for a scissor choke, right, by just extending my legs and knees together on his throat. I like to go ankle to ankle here. Some people like to do this. I find it more successful if you extend your legs. And then if you miss the head completely, then you end up in a Kimura trap. And we'll get on to more trap details in a second here, okay? If you also feel like if you want to get back up to like a good position, the Kimura trap can do that for you. So you can use this to like kind of rotate towards them and get back up. And we can go back to our Kimura. We can go back to our gift wrap. We can set up arm bars as well, okay? All right, so Kimura trap now from single leg. If the head on the outside, and then we'll do the head on the inside next. So head's on the outside. Why don't we turn Thomas a little bit? There you go, perfect. So from here, my arm that's closest to his head will reach around his armpit. My arm that's farthest will grab the wrist. And the key for me on this one is like looking at the Kimura the whole time. So we're here, I'm gonna grab his wrist and I'm gonna grab my own wrist. Now, I'm gonna look to sacrifice fall towards my free side, my left butt, and then from there use my right leg, the trap leg, to use as a butterfly hook to flip them. So I'm looking at the Kimura the whole time. I fall to my butt, and I use my butterfly hook to flip them, okay? Pin the hand to the heart here, and now we're in the Kimura trap. Like a lot of people like don't understand, if they have the hand here, he'll get up and get away, no problem, okay? So I need the hand pinned to his core. So that way, if he tries to get up to his knees, I can use that to push him back down. And just like mastering that detail really, really helps with this position. You can slow it down quite a bit. And then based off of his reaction, we have options here. Like say he's pinning his head to the mat, right? And then I can look to like kind of shelf his head on my hip, my stomach. At that point, I can go for that scissor choke again. That's one option. I'm able to maybe sneak this foot between his like elbow crease, and I can go for crucifix. That's another option. Sometimes he can't really try to turn away. See, it doesn't really work. He can turn towards me, and if I slow him down enough, I can sneak my knee in his hip pocket, and then I can look to swing over this top hook, and then I can look to, take the back from here. And I'll show you a couple ways I like to do that. One option will just be swiveling the gift wrap over, and then you can like pull him like up, and then get your hook out, okay? Another option you could do is just like grabbing his neck, like wrist ride, and you can do that as well, okay? That's another option. Sometimes what people like to do as well, if he's blocking that hook, is go for that triangle. So instead of going for the hook, I go right over the shoulder. And then from there, I want to kind of stretch him out, grab my shin, start to hip switch, pull my leg out, and now we're in that rear triangle. And now the finish I like to do here is the Jason Rawls finish. So I'm like scooping his like arm, and I'm gonna look to push his head and then grab my own wrist. I push his head into my calf, and I pinch my knees as I do that. And I'm also stretching his arm out here as well. Can also take the arm right to the hip, and also I can do wrist lock. All right, those are your options. You guys want to play around with them? We're on the inside now. This is like more the norm nowadays when it comes to jiu-jitsu. Yeah, so we're here. We can do it from standing. We can also do it from the ground. I'll show you from the ground first. It's a little bit safer. So this works really good if, as long as he doesn't have my leg trapped. So I want to like post on his foot. I would get the Kimura, and then I want to fall to my like butt, and then I'm going to use that like range of motion of like that standing Kimura flip. Same idea here, and we're here, and we just kind of guide him over, okay? And now once we get to this position, we're good to go, right? We're in a very similar position here, and with our Kimura trap, okay? Now from standing, I do a sacrifice fall. Same idea. He goes head on the inside. I grab it. Ideally, I want to like curl this leg in. If it's trapped, it's not the best. So I won't fall until I get my leg untrapped. So if he has my leg trapped initially, I would grab it, swivel it out first. Then I would fall to my knee, and then I would flip him. Make sense?